Hello there, and welcome back to Steam It with Steve. Today we're going to keep going on with our tiny house tutorial, and what we're going to do is we're going to learn how to put a roof on the top. So it's going to be a simple triangle that we can basically build on the top and push that through, which we call a gable roof. So the plan for today, basically, if we look here, is we're going to build a gable roof. So we're going to make the 2D profile of the roof line, which comes down. It will then have a little bit of an overhang on each edge, which we'll be able to push and pull all the way through. And then we're going to pull over that overhang on the other end. So we'll have this little bit at the front and the back of the house. So some of the different roof types that you can have look like this. So an open gable is what we're going to try and build today. Okay. And then you can make them as complicated as you want. Okay. So you've got this hip and valley one down here, hexagonal. There's a whole heap of different options that you can do. Doesn't really matter what you do with your tiny house. Obviously, the more complicated, it's kind of cooler. But as long as you build an open gable or a flat, you should be pretty fine. So some ideas, these are the three fundamental different types of roofs that we're going to be looking at. If you can build a slanted one, which is basically just a box with a triangle on the top here, and then just put the slanted box on the top of all that. Then you can build a gable roof, which is what we're going to build today. Or you might want to just build a flat roof, which pretty much the same as the previous tutorial where we had the 2D rectangle, extruded that out and just put it up, plunked it on the top. Okay, doesn't necessarily matter. It's totally up to you how you want to do this. But today we're just going to build a gable roof, which is pretty cool. So let's get into it. So we'll just open up SketchUp. And here we go. So we've got SketchUp here with our house so far. And the kitchen and the bedroom down here. So let's just have a look up the top here with this roof. So come across here. What we're going to do is just raise this up a little. So we're going to use the pen tool to start. Click on the corner here. And we'll go up 200 mils. Okay. We'll then go across here. If you use the end point there and just raise it up, we'll then give you that little dotted line. And then we go there. Cool. So we've got this little raised bit here. This is just so that when we do the overhang and all the other sort of stuff, it doesn't look, it doesn't burr into the roof. Okay, so to do that, we now want to use a thing called the Protractor Tool. So we're going to go across here, click on the protractor. So 1, 2, 3 up, tape measure tool, and so we use the Protractor Tool. Now the trick with this, wherever the protractor is, we want to make sure it's on the same face, and that's running perpendicular to the axis we're dealing with. So because we've drawn it in a nice little 2D, the 3D axes, you can see the red line that's going through there. When it's red, it means that protractor's on there, on that axis perpendicular to it. So if I move it to green, it means that it's going to go from that face across. And then if I put on the roof there, yeah, we can get the blue one. So that means it's going to go up and down and rotate that way around. So we want the protractor to sit on this face here and go up so that we have an angle in there. So we're just going to make sure that the protractor is red. We're going to click on there and just go across the end, anywhere along this line. It doesn't really matter. And what happens then is we get a nice little guideline. Okay, so what happens with most roofs, they have to be bigger than 15 degrees. So let's make it 22.5. Okay, and then we're going to do exactly the same on this end. So we're going to click on here. Doesn't matter as long as anywhere along that line. And click up. And we're going to go 22.5 again. Whoop, not that big. 22.5. So now we have the nice little bit triangle where they intersect. Now to complete that, all you got to do is use the pen tool. Click, connect that, and then click and connect down there. Awesome, we now have our triangle. So the next bit we want to do while we still have these guidelines is we want to do a bit of an overhang here. So what I would be doing is just clicking on this endpoint here, and we're going to make the gutter sort of thing happening out here. Let's make that go out to 150. All right, so it goes out 250. And then we'll make it vertically go down. So see how that went blue, which means that's going up and down along the z-axis. So we want to make that go down 150. Maybe that's a bit too much. Let's go down 100. Awesome. Now, here's the trick. If you just click randomly along here, it's not going to work so well. So what we do is use this line as a reference point. So make sure that line's selected and then go down this axis. And what it should do is it should change pink for us. There we go. And that means that it's parallel. So once it's turned pink, we then click and then we now have our gutter. Whoops, sorry, don't click on the end there. Let's click from there, highlight that, and then make it parallel. Let's go again. Perfect. Awesome. It is a bit finicky, but as long as you got a parallel, that should work. So then we're going to do exactly the same on this side. So we're going to go across here. We're going to click on the line. We're going to make it go 250 mil down there. Whoop, not that long. Let's try again. So click there, go across 250. Then going to go down. We worked out 100. So we'll click that, type 100, enter. And then highlighting that line, coming across here, make it parallel, then come back to the line. That one worked a bit easier. Cool. So now we've got the 2D shape. How good's that? So to fix this up, we then want to get rid of the lines that we have. So we're going to use the eraser tool, or press E, and then just swipe through those lines, that line, and then that line. We're going to leave the baseline for the moment just while we're using the push-pull tool. And yeah, here we go. So we're going to use the push-pull tool now to go through. So we'll zoom out a bit. We'll come around this end. So click on the push-pull tool, click on that 2D shape that we just built, and then we're going to come across here until it says on edge, right? And just highlight the line. Or because we know that was 12,500 mil, we could just type in 12,500 mil. So we're going to click there, and now we have our roof. How good's that? So now the cool part, what we can do is we can tag that. So if we go there and hide everything else, we should just have our roof. Oh, looks like I didn't tag down here the cupboard, but that's all right. We'll fix that up now. So if I go here and I select that, and we go plus, and we'll edit that tag. We'll call that the roof. So if I click on the roof, click on the tag, now I can make the roof disappear. How cool is that? And I'll just quickly do this one down here as well. Sorry, because I forgot to do it. That was our dressing table from previous tutorials. So let's hide the roof. And then select that. And that. And then we'll add that. And we'll call this tag here dressing table. Click on the tag there, and now we can hide that. Cool. So now we can put all the tags back on, and we have our roof. Cool. The last bit that we want to do then, it's pretty easy. We want to do the overhang for this. So what we're going to use is the line tool. Click on the line tool here, click on that endpoint, and all I'm doing is going to go up to the middle and then down, and then back down across here, the middle. And see how I've made that nice little end line across there by using that as a reference point. Then I'll just use the push-pull tool, select that face, and we're going to go out 400 mil. So now we've got a nice little bit of overhang over here as well. And we're just going to repeat that over this side. So what we're going to do is use the pen tool, click on the corner there, come up here to the middle, using the center point, and then go down. And then we want to go down to this corner, and then use the push-pull tool, and we're going to come out 400. Yeah. Awesome. So then those original lines back here, we can hide those or delete them. Totally up to you. If your teacher probably prefer for you to leave them so that they can see what you did. And just hide them and tag them, but I'm just going to quickly delete it so that we can see it. And then there's our roof done and dusted. Other things that you could do is you could add in actual gutter lines. So you could put in little pipes. You could then also put the down pipes here to show that that's where the water will go and how it will extrude it. You might have an outdoor water tank that you might want to fill up. That's a whole heap of different options you can do here. Cool. So hopefully you've learned how to build the roof there and had a bit of fun along the way. If you have, can I please ask that you like and subscribe the videos? It helps with our YouTube algorithm. And see you next time on STEAM with Steve. Adios.